Hello students, today we'll learn about the toggles which are there in the status bar. Now the horizontal row which you see at the bottom of the screen, this one is the status bar, and the tools or the symbols you are seeing on it are the toggles. Now the one which are blue highlighted, they are currently in use. For example, this first one is currently in use. This one is currently in use. And the one which is not highlighted, they are not in current use. To customize this toggle, we can use this option, this three horizontal line to customize the toggles. If I click here, whatever things are checked marked there, they are in current use, and whatever are not checked marked, you can see that they will get disappeared from the toggle. So whatever you want, you can select them, and whatever is not required, you can deselect them in this way, right? So let us learn about these toggles one by one, starting with the first one, this one, grid mode. This grid mode allows this graph like structure to the canvas or this drawing space. You can see this graph like structure. If I turn this off, you can see the graph like structure from the screen will get disappear. So you can have this in your use if you want to draw a drawing which requires a graph like structure. Otherwise you can turn it off. Generally we prefer it to turn it off because we don't require it in our drawing much. Then the second tool is the snap mode. What it does, it snaps the grids of this grid mode. To understand the snap mode, I will just turn on the grid mode and turn on the snap mode as well. Now when I'll select the line, you can see when I'll zoom in the screen, how this cursor is moving. It is just snapping the intersection point of the grids. Okay, it is just snapping the intersection point, so it is moving in discrete manner. You can see if I turn this snap mode off, you can see it is moving in continuous manner, and you can see a point anywhere on the canvas, right? In this way, using the snap mode, you'll be able to select the point only on the intersection of the grids like this. You cannot select a point in between. So it is easy to draw vertical and horizontal line using grid mode, but here the case is you cannot select any point which is not on the intersection of the grids. So we also prefer this to turn off, so we will be turning this to off. Now the next symbol, this will not be requiring, so we will not study this. The next one is dyno mode. So we'll delete this part first. Dyno mode, what this dyno mode allows, if I turn this off and if I select a line tool, you can see I'm not getting any inputs near the cursor like length of the line, angle of the line. And if I turn this on, you can see the inputs are getting near the cursor, the length of the line and angle of the line. So if you have to if you want to see this dynamic inputs like length and angle, you should use this. So we always prefer to have this in current use. This is dyno mode, so this should be turned on always. Okay, the next toggle is ortho mode. Now if you try to draw a horizontal line like this, let us say a line of 100 mm. If I try to draw 100, then tab and then 0, so if you type a 0-degree angle, then you will be able to draw a horizontal line. Similarly, if you have to draw a vertical line of 50 mm, let us say, so 50 and tab 90 will make this line vertical of 50 mm. Now every time I have to give the angle input to draw horizontal and vertical line. So if you have a lot of lines as a horizontal and vertical line in your drawing, so instead of giving the angle input, what you can do, you can turn this ortho mode on. So this is the ortho mode, you can turn it on, and if you select a line command, and it will allow you to draw only horizontal and vertical lines. So if I select a line, so it will allow me to draw only a horizontal and vertical line. I cannot draw a line in between. You can see over here, If I move my cursor towards right, it is the line is getting horizontal. If it move towards vertical direction upward, the line is vertical. So in this way we can easily draw a line, horizontal and vertical line. 100, enter. Without specifying the angle, you can draw a line. 50, enter. Then horizontal line, 100, enter. In this way you can easily draw a horizontal and vertical line. So this will be useful, the ortho mode, but it won't allow us to draw any inclined line, right? So instead of using this, we'll be using the next one, which is polar tracking, right? So we'll understand this next toggle, polar tracking. If I turn this on, the ortho mode will automatically get turned off. Now this polar tracking, it has a drop down arrow. If I select this, it has a lot of other options. These numbers are the angle series. That means if the current I have selected it as 30, 60, 90, that means it allows you to draw angles in a space of 30 degree, 30, 60, 90, in a multiple of 30 degree. So let us see how it works. I have turned it on. We'll select a line command. If I select a point and drag it horizontally, you will get a green line. That means your 0 degree is getting polar track. You can see near the cursor polar 0 degree. That means you can draw a horizontal line over here and you can just mention its length, and without mentioning angle you can press enter, 100, enter. You will get a horizontal line. Similarly, if you have to draw a line at an angle of 30 degrees, so you can see it is getting tracked at 30 degree as well. So I'll just input the length of the line 50 and you can directly press enter without giving the input to the angle. So like this. Similarly, it will track the 60 degree like this. It will track the 90 degree. Okay, so in a multiple of 30 degree, it will track the lines like this. So as a practice of this, what I want you to draw a line starting from the any center point, lines of 100 mm at an angle of 30 degree, 0 degree, 30 degree, then 60 degree like this, 60 degree. Each line should be of 100 mm. In this way you can go on drawing a line in 360 in a gap of 30 degree, and it should be in a 360 degree manner. You can complete this line in this way. Okay, so in a gap of 30 degree you should complete this. So this will be the practice for this polar tracking. Similarly, you can select the other angle series to 45, 90. The mostly used is 30, 60, 90, because we'll be requiring angle in multiple of 30, 60. We'll be using this one only. Right, so this is the use of polar tracking, and we'll be using this in our drawing. So always turn this off. Okay, now the next is the object snap tracking and object snap. Now we'll learn these two first, then we'll move ahead with the other toggles. First we'll learn about the object snap. I will just turn off this object snap tracking and object snap, both I will turn off. Now if I draw a random line over here, and if I try to select end point of this line without the object snap, so will not be able to select. How hard you try, will not be able to select the line. If you zoom it in, you can see. Again, if you try to draw a line from the end, will not be able to draw. There will always be a gap between the lines. So to select the end point of a line or select the midpoint of a line, we use the object snap. What it does, it snaps the geometrical entities of the object. Geometrical entities like end point, midpoint, or center of a circle, quadrants of a circle, center of a rectangle, like this. All these geometrical entities it will snap. If I select the drop down of this object snap, I can see a lot of geometrical entities like endpoint, midpoint, center, geometrical center, node, intersection, etc. Now the settings you have to remember is you should turn off the settings in this you should turn on the settings till intersection, and you should turn off all other setting below that. Okay, so you should have the settings till intersection. We'll be using the other, this which one we have turned off here, but they are very rarely used, and if you turn on everything, so that will bother you a lot, right? So we'll understand this one by one. If I select a line command, now you can see here I will just turn on the object snap. If I move the cursor toward end point of the line, if I hold it there, now it is getting snapped. The end point is getting snapped. You can see a green rectangle or a square at the end point, which indicates that the point I am going to select is the end point. If I select this, I have drawn a line from the end point of the line. Then similarly, if I have to select a midpoint, I can say it is getting tracked. The symbol for the midpoint is the triangle, and if I draw a line, it is getting drawn from the midpoint. Similarly, for the circle, if you select the center, you can see a circle symbol is there, green color, and I can select a center of a circle. So whatever green color symbols you see on the canvas, that is for the object snap. Different object snaps are there. This is a quadrant, that is the top quadrant of a circle. The dipole symbol is there. You can select it like this. So using this object snap, you can select or different geometrical entities. Okay, now if I have to draw a tangent to this circle from this end, select this end, and I want this tangent to the circle. Now currently if you see the object snap, tangent is not selected. So in particular, if you have to use any particular object snap option, so what you can do, press shift key on the keyboard, press and hold it, then right click the mouse. After right clicking, you will get the option here, and you can choose the one which you want to use. I want to use the tangent here, so I will select tangent. And if you move closer to the circle, you will get the tangent object snap. You can see here, this is the tangent object snap. If you click here, the line you have drawn is the tangential line to the circle. So in this way, in particular, if you want to use any object snap, you have to press shift key and then right click. Object snap will not appear in normal mode of the cursor. You can see it will not appear in the normal. You have to be using any tool like line tool, right? So this is what is object snap, is the object snap. Okay, I hope you have understood whatever in detail the things are there, the other object snaps, how will they will look, we'll understand in detail while drawing. But as of now, we'll understand some important object snaps over here. Okay, so you have understood about the center, end point, midpoint. If I draw a line crossing this line, so if I go to the intersection part of it, I will get the intersection object snap, which is a cross symbol. Right? So we can select the intersection of any two objects. Similarly, if I have to select any point on this line here, so you can see I want a point here, but it should start from this line. So here for that you need to have this nearest object snap turned on. If I turn this on, you can see this option, the time option you are getting is the nearest option. That means if you are having this object snap seeing on the screen, then you will be selecting the point on the object. So if I draw a point, it will be on the object. If you try to do it without the nearest object snap, you'll be never able to select a point on the object. Okay, how hard you will try, you'll never able to select it. Okay, but better we'll turn this off. Will not be requiring, will be just requiring, mostly used are the one midpoint, end point, center. These are the mostly used. Will have the object snap turned on till intersection. Other should be turned off. This setting you should remember. Okay, so for orthographic drawing, orthographic projections, we should have these settings that I've told you. The dyno mode, and then polar tracking in, polar tracking 30, 60, 90, and then object snap, and the in settings in that you should have it turned on. So this is what is object snap. Then we'll learn about this object snap tracking. If I turn this on, what it allows us to do is it allows us to uh, track the object snaps. How we can track the object snaps? See, if I select a line command, and if this is the end point of a line, let us say, if I track it towards right like this, you will see a green line along with the object snap symbol. That means the symbol which you are seeing currently is the end point which is getting tracked towards right side horizontally. If I type any particular distance here, let us say 20, and if I press enter, so I can start drawing a line 20 distance away from this end. From this end, this line has started 20 distance away. Similarly, if I have to start a line from the midpoint of this 40 distance in upward direction, in a gap of 40, so I'll track this midpoint in upward direction like this. Both the symbols should appear, green line should appear, and triangle should appear for the midpoint. And I will just type 30, enter. So in a gap of 30 in upward direction, I can start drawing a line. Okay. So there are a lot of use of this object snap tracking. While actual drawing, we'll see that in detail. So these are some basic object snaps required for the construction of orthographic projections. The other object snap like isodraft and these other, we'll see that in later detail later while drawing. That will not be used currently. Later we'll be using it. So I hope the object snap which are very important we have discussed and you have understood it. Thank you.